There was once a love so powerful that it crossed death itself. A love that began with sacrifice, survived separation, challenged the gods, and ultimately brought together two divine forces, said to represent the very balance of the universe. This is the legendary story of Shiva and Parvati, one of the most enduring sacred stories of Indian mythology. Welcome to SERA Mythology, where the world's greatest mythological and spiritual legends come alive. Long before Parvati was born, Shiva had already experienced a devastating loss. Shiva was married to Sati, the daughter of the powerful king Daksha. Sati loved Shiva deeply, but Daksha despised him. To Daksha, Shiva was an unpredictable ascetic who lived among mountains, surrounded by ghosts and spirits, wearing ashes instead of royal ornaments. One day, Daksha organized a magnificent sacrificial ceremony and invited many gods and kings, but deliberately refused to invite Shiva and Sati. Sati nevertheless went to her father's ceremony. There, she witnessed the humiliation of Shiva. Unable to bear the insult against her beloved husband, Sati entered the sacred fire and gave up her life. When Shiva learned of Sati's death, grief and fury shook the universe. He carried Sati's lifeless body across the earth, lost in sorrow. According to the legend, Vishnu eventually used his divine weapon to separate Sati's body, allowing Shiva to release his grief. The places where parts of Sati were believed to have fallen later became sacred Shakti sites. But the story did not end with Sati's death. The divine feminine was destined to return. In the mountains of the Himalayas, a daughter was born to Himavan, the mountain king, and his wife Meena. She was named Parvati, meaning the daughter of the mountain. From childhood, Parvati was drawn toward Shiva. She remembered him as the divine being she had loved in a previous existence. But Shiva had withdrawn from the world. He remained deep in meditation, detached from earthly desires. Parvati decided that nothing would stop her from winning his heart. She abandoned comfort and performed severe penance in the mountains. She endured heat, cold, hunger, and exhaustion, continuing her devotion to Shiva. The gods watched her determination. Meanwhile, the gods faced a terrible threat. A powerful demon named Tarakasura had obtained a boon that made him nearly impossible to defeat. Only a son of Shiva could destroy him, but Shiva remained absorbed in meditation. The gods needed Shiva to return to worldly life. According to one famous version of the legend, the god of love, Kama, was sent to awaken desire within Shiva. Kama released his flower-tipped arrow toward the meditating Shiva. Shiva opened his third eye. A blazing fire emerged, reducing Kama to ashes. Yet Parvati's devotion could not be destroyed. She continued her penance. Eventually, Shiva decided to test her. Disguised as an ordinary ascetic, he approached Parvati and began criticizing Shiva himself. He described Shiva as strange, poor, wild, covered in ashes, and surrounded by spirits. But Parvati refused to listen to a single insult against the one she loved. Her devotion revealed the depth of her heart. Shiva then revealed his true form. The ascetic before her was none other than Shiva himself. He accepted Parvati as his wife. Their wedding became one of the most magnificent celebrations in Hindu mythology. Gods, sages, celestial beings, spirits, mountains, and divine creatures gathered for the union of Shiva and Parvati. Yet their relationship was more than a divine romance. Shiva represented the power of consciousness, stillness, destruction, and transformation. Parvati represented Shakti, the divine feminine energy, creation, strength, fertility, and power. Together, they represented complementary forces of existence. Their union eventually brought forth divine children, including Ganesha, the beloved elephant-headed god, and Kartikeya, the warrior deity who would become the commander of the divine forces. But Shiva and Parvati were not always portrayed as peaceful lovers. Their mythology is filled with arguments, separations, challenges, reunions, and moments of profound affection. One famous legend tells of Parvati playfully covering Shiva's eyes with her hands. For Shiva, whose nature was connected with cosmic consciousness, the sudden darkness affected the universe itself. Parvati realized the consequence of her playful act and undertook another transformation, becoming the powerful goddess who could restore balance. In another famous tradition, Shiva and Parvati are depicted as Ardhanarishvara, one divine form divided into male and female halves. Half Shiva, half Parvati. The image carries a profound mythological meaning. Neither force exists completely without the other. Destruction needs creation. Stillness needs energy. Consciousness needs Shakti. And Shiva without Parvati is incomplete. Parvati was not simply the wife of Shiva. She appeared in many powerful forms, including Durga and Kali, revealing different aspects of divine feminine power. Shiva, meanwhile, remained the mysterious ascetic, destroyer, dancer, and cosmic lord. Their story survived for thousands of years because it was never simply a tale of marriage. It was the story of separation and reunion, death and rebirth, silence and power, destruction and creation. A story where love did not end with death. It returned through the mountains. It endured through impossible trials. And eventually, Shiva and Parvati stood together once again. The divine couple, whose union represented the eternal balance of the universe. If the legends of Shiva and Parvati have awakened a deeper curiosity about the mysteries of ancient mythology, subscribe to SERA Mythology, like this video, and share the story in the comments. There are countless forgotten legends, divine mysteries, ancient gods, and extraordinary mythological stories still waiting to be uncovered. And the next legend may reveal another story hidden in the oldest memories of the world.